What is up, and welcome back to another episode of So There's That. I'm your hostess, doing the mostest, Kivanchi. My braids are done, y'all. For those of you who watched last episode with the Gilded Age, season 3, episode 5, y'all saw the situation that was going on. Shout out to the girl that was in the comments and was like, girl, I was braiding my hair while I was watching and listening to you, so you good. Love a good sisterhood, love a good community. But today is about Dexter Resurrection. Y'all, what the hell is Dexter doing? Oh my goodness. Before we get into this episode, let's introduce some new people. So, the director of this episode is Monica Raymond again. The writers are Alexandra Franklin and Marc Muszynski. Cinematographer of this episode is Radium Cheung. He did the last episode. And we've introduced some new serial killers. We have Eric Stonestreet, who plays Al. You may know him as Cam from Modern Family. Kristen Ritter as Mia. You may know her as Jessica Jones. And of course, Neil Patrick Harris, who plays Lowell. So y'all already know Dexter took over Ronald Schmidt's identity so that he can get into this basic, like this kill club, right? So we're getting a lot of interactions this episode with Dexter, Charley, and we meet who I didn't name, but I'm doing it now. We meet um Peter Dinklage as Leon Prater. Now, this is a high profile individual. He's very public, but he has a dark, deep obsession with serial killers and just putting on these monthly events where they all come around. He has a whole trophy room of their trophies, original like crime scene stuff from like Ted Bundy. What's that man who used to dress up as a clown? And he had like 30 something boys buried in his backyard. Oh my God, I cannot think of his name. They're doing a show on Peacock about him now. Oh my God, this is about to bother me. His name is on the tip of my brain. I could see it. I'm getting off track. Anyway, so Dexter is in here and he is basically taking on the task of like killing them, right? So y'all already know like Dexter be killing serial killers or whatever, or just bad people. Why my man's is opening up. Not him relating and feeling seen. It's crazy. And he's relating and feeling seen with the other killers, but who he's actually like side-eyeing is Leon. He even says like, I know it takes one to know one, but this man is nuts. And I feel like out of everybody in the room, everybody has their own like reasons for killing, or even just all of them explaining it like an impulse, an urge, an itch, or whatever that they just have to do. It's a compulsion, right? And so, since they're compelled to do it, they're narrowing down like the demographic or the type of people that they're going to take out. But with Leon, having just a random obsession with serial killers and looking at what they do and the people that they harm as a work of art is a different kind of crazy, because that's a choice. Especially when Dexter asked him like, oh, do you kill people too? He was like, oh God, no, I can never do what you do. Kill, get blood on my hands? Absolutely not. And it's like, then why are we here? Like, it was just giving like, it reminded me of the Purge. I forget which Purge it was, where like all the rich people was kidnapping people from poor and low income counties, and then having them kill each other, but they watched. But then they had like plastic and tarp so they wouldn't get their houses and stuff dirty. And it was like, you're you realize that this still makes you a participant. You realize that if these things were to go to trial, you would get charged the same. So, Mr. Leon, sir, you're not better than them. In fact, you're worse because theirs could be seen as a psychological or chemical abnormality in their brains, and yours is, I don't know, a hobby, a sport. Like you're putting on these dinners to listen to them talk about who they killed. Like that's crazy. That's crazier than everybody combined sitting at this table. But what's crazier than that is, Dexter, why are you going on a date with Mia? Like I said last episode, Dexter is going to have to do a lot of things that's outside of his routine and that's going to put him off kilter. And even his subconscious daddy is like, bruh, what are you doing? What is happening? And in this vein, he can't just come into this organization and just start killing people immediately because obviously he's going to look like the person. Like all the signs are going to point to him. And the fact that the group is full of serial killers anyway, like it's not going to be that hard for them to figure it out. Does Dexter have a plan? No, Dexter doesn't have a plan. Dexter doesn't have a plan because at this juncture, Dexter don't know what the fuck he's doing. But I genuinely enjoyed the reveal to Lowell right before he killed him. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. Maybe that's the Leon in me. But that was a very interesting scene because Lowell woke up and Dexter's like, oh, usually people are more beggy than this. And Lowell was like, bro, I kill people for a living. Like, I don't, I don't know what you want. Like, can you use that knockout gas on me again? Like, what's up? And Dexter's like, no, we're doing nothing of the sort. Because I'm not Ronald Schmidt. I'm the Bay Harbor Butcher. And you see like the dawning and the realization on Lowell's face right before Dexter does what he does. But he mentions going back to the basics and he collects a drop of blood and he uses it kind of like I forget what the thing is called. I think it's just like a slide. Like you know when you're looking under a microscope and you get those acrylic slides. So he broke something and used it as that. So he's starting his own collection all over again. So at this point in episode 4, title called Me Red, I don't think I told y'all the name. Dexter is getting back into the groove of being the Bay Harbor Butcher while also having to try to figure out this other piece and navigate that because you're not dealing with regular people. And even Leon, for him to not kill, he has killers at his disposal. So you can't really like one up them for long. Dexter's absolutely smarter than them. And the way that he's able to get a lot of information, even though they have the internet at their hands, it took them weeks to figure out where Ronald Schmidt was. Obviously not him. He's pretending. But Dexter beat boots to the ground and he figured out all the information in 3 days. So in this episode, he talks a lot about like getting back to the basics, liking the physicality of stalking and really getting up close and learning things. And I'd say that that's something that's really good to his advantage because he doesn't have a digital footprint, even though he now has to be wary of cameras everywhere. He gets information faster by simply going out into the world. Now, this ain't got nothing to do with Dexter and killing, but like, get off the internet, y'all, and go touch grass. Like, they over here trying to stalk their victims, and it's taking them a month to get to it. And Dexter's like, bro, if you would have just accidentally bumped into them at the grocery store, like you could have had this figured out 8 weeks ago. And so getting into, this is a show about killing. So as I'm speaking, I'm not speaking for me. I'm speaking in the context of the show and in the context of the titular character. Like, they're not smart, but I think just the newness of it all, Dexter's not going to have enough time to perfect this level of adaptability and flexibility. So I'm definitely interested in seeing how that goes. Like I said, he's going to make a mistake. He is going to make a mistake. And killing Lowell, I think, is a mistake. It's only 10 episodes this season. Episode 4 is typically like a something's coming. 5 and 6 are usually like fillers or just kind of broadening a character scope before we get into that action between episodes 7 and the finale. So I'm definitely thinking the next 2 episodes are going to be a little bit slower, but a little bit of some unraveling and some conversations that must be had. Now, the conversation that must be had, we'll get to that. But first, let's get to Batista. I agree with the people online in that I don't think his character is going to live beyond season 1 of Dexter Resurrection. It's just like, sir, you could have retired, but you have to get Dexter to admit that he's a Bay Harbor butcher. You can't just keep it in your gut and know for sure and then just sail off into the sunset. No, you are planting yourself right back in New York, flaunting your badge, talking to Harrison, and doing all these different things to the point where Elsa nosy ass girl, she needs to mind her business. She comes up to him and accidentally lets him know that there was a killer on the loose that killed somebody in the hotel because she's thinking that he's a part of the New York PD. And she's like thinking she's gonna stand up for her friend, but now she's giving him information. And so of course Batista goes to what's her name? The detective Wallace. Girl, let me look at my notes. Hold on. Did I not? Yes, Detective Wallace. Ooh, I be talking about so many shows. I be combining these names. So he goes to Detective Wallace and he's like, "Oh, look, this is the same MO and the same signature as the Bay Harbor Butcher." So now, while it is advantageous for Harrison for this to be connected to a Miami case and a bunch of cases that happened before he was born, this is a wrench in Dexter's plan that Dexter is not privy to, because at this point he does not know that Batista has tracked him to New York. So it's just like what's saying, I'm old now so I be messing up saying the rooster came to nest, the chickens came the chickens came to nest to roost. I don't fucking know. Y'all, I mean, butchery saying so bad. I don't know what it is, but after 35, nothing makes sense anymore. The moon, the stars, shoot name. I don't know what you want from me. But yeah, the chickens came to wait. The chickens came. Why I keep wanting to say roost? The chickens came to nest. But I feel like a rooster is in this. The rooster came to nest. The hens came. Pick a bird, any bird. The penguins came to lay their eggs. Oh my god, do penguins lay eggs? I literally watched Happy Feet. What is happening to me right now? It's 1:04 a.m. That's what's happening to me. We've been chalk it up to my brain being like, girl, wrap it up. Wrap it up. If you know, you know. Now that I'm back on the train, I hopped off for a little bit. Yeah, so everything is converging, and Dexter might be at the closest he's ever been at getting caught. But I just honestly do feel like this reveal is going to happen and it's going to die with Batista. And it's like, I don't know. I just don't see his character being carried on for long, but I definitely see another confrontation with Dexter and Dexter having this conversation and airing everything out, maybe even telling him why he does it in the first place. Will the cop in Batista understand? No, ish, because Dexter is killing terrible people. So it's like a double-edged sword. You know what I mean? But speaking of conversations that I think are going to be had, Dexter finally revealed himself to Harrison. Mm-hmm. Why? Because Harrison is a, oh my God. Oh my God. I love that the Institute on MGM Plus is like a show with teenagers and young adults who I don't hate, because I cannot stand teen and young adult decision making. It is the worst. And I'm not saying this as a 36-year-old who thinks I'm better and all these other things. I recognize that I have matured. The reason I can't stand them, because when I see I just get like flashbacks to when I was also that stupid. And I'm just like, why do hormones and adolescence and just growth in frontal lobe cortex just forming, why does it keep you dumb? Like, you could be so intellectually smart and just dumb, emotionally impulsive. Like, oh my God, I'm so glad I'm beyond that state, because when I see it in TV shows, I'm just like, get me out of here, get me out of here. And that's exactly how I felt about Harrison. You out here now, get I grant it, like, you chopped up a body with your daddy before, but now you took a life on your own. Cool, 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 cool. I get it. PTSD, I love how they're showing that this is not something that's easy to contend with. Even when you feel that you can't escape it, and Harrison feels like he can't escape it. He might turn into his father, but he doesn't want to. So there's a battle of consciousness here that I love, that is being explored through Harrison. Like I said, I love Harrison's character. He's so different from Dexter in the way that he thinks about the things that he does. I don't remember in the shows that I've watched with Dexter that he ever questioned um his conscience of why he was doing things. He started killing at a young age. He was taught how to do these things. So it's just in his DNA. It's in everything that he does. It's as easy as breathing. But Harrison always had these thoughts and these urges and these feelings. I would say, like people do, you get mad, you get upset, and you have these thoughts. Like, kids are the first ones to be like, I wish you were dead. Like, those comes out of kids' mouths at like 4, right? So it's not that what he's feeling and what he's thinking is abnormal, but the urgency and the insistency inside him was the thing that he's been struggling with his entire life. And once he met Dexter and realized, like, oh my God, like, I come from a line of serial killers, like, oh my God, it's in my chromosomal like coding. um he's now fighting it even more because he does not want to do that. And so we see him really struggling. Batista was in his face, the cops was on his head, and he can't sleep at night. He gets ready to go into the police station, and Dexter reaches out and grabs him and says, Harrison, you dumb bitch. I'm playing. He didn't say that. He was like, baby, no, don't do it, son. Don't do it. And of course, Harrison's like, Dad? Yes, fool. um, and so now we are here. And I just see so many questions, a confrontation, a conversation. And I don't really know how Dexter is gonna handle this, because he's still pretending to be somebody else, but killing in his signature way. But now his signature is tied to something Harrison did. And again, are you going to continue to behead cab drivers, or your driver or your car drivers, to keep up this appearance? Like, Dexter now has to like kill, and not just terrible people. How are you going to maintain Ronald Schmidt? Like, unless you just kill everybody in the kill conference immediately. Like, Lowell's done. Now you just have to go kill everybody else. But apparently you crushing on Mia. Like, bruh. I mean, I guess you got needs, but like, things are getting real complicated. And having a son who killed impulsively, cleaned up mostly good, but you went behind him to fix his mistakes. There's still things that he does not know that the cop is tracking, like the way the bags were tied. So now you have to like get through his feelings, get through his tears, get through the trauma of him thinking that you was dead in the first place, get through the trauma and the PTSD of this murder, and also track the case while trying not to get found out by Leon and the gang. Like it's too much. I just see episode 8. I'm calling it. I see episode 8 being very explosive, very revealing. And the people that are good are going to have to make some morally gray decisions. And the people that are bad are going to have to make some decisions that's like good forward, like forward leaning or whatever. But I feel like episode 8 will be the episode where everybody kind of is in that space of I get it. Because somebody that's good is gonna have to kill for reasons outside of a badge. And it's gonna be something that they can't report, because if they report it, even if they did it for a good reason, they'd still land in jail and it really wouldn't be justice. Now, I have not seen the rest of these episodes, okay? Um, but something in my gut is telling me episode 8, that's what's gonna happen. I'm calling it. Now, if this whole thing happens in like 7 or 9, cool. I'll take a slight L. But I'm calling that scenario in this season. And I'm calling it for episode 8. I'm not a betting gal. But when I do, I win. So there's that. Season 1, episode 4, Call Me Red of Dexter Resurrection. I gave y'all most of my thoughts, but here is a thought that I had. The moment Dexter met up with Mia in the park, I think Mia is an undercover cop. I feel like Mia has been in this operation for a while in trying to get like concrete proven evidence to maybe take down Leon. Taking down the other killers, okay, sure, it would be easy. But in this episode, I think they revealed that one of the people in their group, or another killer, I can't remember specifically, when he got caught and went to jail, he killed himself. So they are down enough that if they got caught, they're not going to sell Leon out. I feel like Mia is an undercover cop and she's trying to get Leon and get all of his information and how he's contacting these people. Because once you get Leon, now you can get everybody else. But if you get everybody else, they're never going to sell out Leon. This is a secret organization. She may be able to get close to Charley, but Charley is really seeming like she will kill everybody on behalf of him. She's already done it once to one of the people who was trying to turn on them. So yeah, I don't know. Mia, when she was telling that story about her first kill and her childhood, I was just like, something in my chesticles is telling me that this is a lie. Like, it's a lie. It was giving half truth. It's giving, again, lean into the truth of horrible things did happen to you. You did have thoughts of wanting to kill the people who harmed you. Thread that and wrap it around the lie of showing Dexter your trophies and the first person that you harmed. I don't know, man. My spidey senses is saying that Mia is a cop. I'm calling it. I don't care what y'all say. Even if I'm wrong, I'm gonna stand behind it. Because it's just, I don't know. It's fishy. It's fishy. Shout out to Kristen Ritter, because there's just a play that she's doing with this character that is just, you want to trust her, but there is just this final layer that tells you, don't tell her all the truth. don't show her all your cards. And Dexter is getting to the points where he's sharing things, but then his daddy shows up in his mind. He's like, what are you doing? You don't know her. You're getting off track. Like, you have things to do, and this could get in the way. And I feel like even though the dialogue from the father is more so like, hey, stay on track, like, you can worry about your penis later. I think that's just the thing in Dexter that doesn't fully trust everything that she says, even if he can't consciously acknowledge it, right? Um, and we've all felt that before. Like, you just get close to somebody, but you're just like, well, why didn't I tell them this part of me? Like, there's something in you that is protecting the most valuable pieces of you, that only come out when your whole being is aligned and says that this person is somebody that I can trust wholly. Like, you ever just be like, oh my God, I'm so in love, but then you never told them about, like, your deepest fears, your biggest aspirations and all this other thing. You're in love, but you don't want to tell them. You're afraid to tell them. And all these other things. And not necessarily because of anything that they did or said, but there's just something in you that is like, not them, not yet. And then you break up or something happens and some big red flag comes out and you're like, oh yeah. Subconscious told me not to confide that in you because you've now weaponized it. It just wasn't what it was. So I feel like that's the thing that's going on. I hope I explained that right. I tried to put it in a context where I think most people would understand since we're not, serial killers. But yeah, it is 1:17 in the morning. And I will be getting on a plane to San Diego for Comic-Con. So as y'all are listening to this, I'm gonna be living my best life, living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden. And yeah, that's gonna wrap up this episode of the podcast. As always, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave comments in the comments box below. And if you got people that only want to listen, make sure you share that Spotify and the Apple Podcast link. You can always find me on Instagram at So There's That Podcast, where I share film and TV updates and news. And speaking of news, I did have to share something really sad this week. Malcolm Jamal Warner passed, and I did not want to close out this podcast episode without acknowledging the greatness, the light, and the warmth of who he was as a person. My heart, I'm trying not to cry. My heart genuinely goes out to his surviving family members. It goes out to everybody who knew him personally, the people who had just talked to him, his co-workers, anybody who he's ever touched in life. It is sad and it is a tragedy, and everything is just a constant reminder that you don't know when, and so try to live the best life that you can. Try to make the best decisions that you can with the tools that you have. And if you feel like you're not making the best decisions, go find some people with the right tools to help you along the way, because we can go at any moment. And he just was joy. He just was joy. And there is a small piece in that he lived happily, internally, externally, and positively influenced everybody that he came across. So just wanted to share that. It's not just news of upcoming shows. Sometimes there's just not good news to share. But who he was and what he would want is for people to focus on the things that they have and cherishing them while we have it. With that, again, you can also find me on TikTok at Kivanshi, as well as Twitter at Kivanshi. And with that, I will catch y'all in the next episode.